Welcome to my success series. I'm going to talk about some of the greatest quotes of all time. I'm going to start by speaking of some of the quotes by Hillel the Elder. Hillel was born in Babylon according to tradition in 110 BCE and died in 10 AD. He lived to approximately 120 years. He had many famous quotes. Here are some of them. Who does not grow basically declines. Hillel also said, "Do not say, when I have leisure I will study, because you may never have leisure." One of his most famous sayings is this: "If I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am not for others, what am I? And if not now, when?" I like to say it this way: if I'm not for myself, who then will be for me? But if I am not for others, what good am I? And if not now, when? Let's examine the first part of this saying. If I'm not for myself, who then will be for me? This teaching presents an importance of responsibility in which our commitment to ourselves and our own well-being needs to be primary, although not to be done in a totally selfish way. Basically, we cannot be effective community leaders or role models or productive members of society for a long period of time if we are not caring for ourselves. This is a similar quote that I read a while back from a self-help book. It says, "Tell me what you are doing now or today, and I'll tell you what your future will bring to you." This is a quote some say Thomas Jefferson said, but some say he never said it. It goes like this: if you want something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. Ask yourself if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. You may want to pause this for a couple of seconds and ask yourself this question. After listening to a Tony Robbins cassette tape a while ago, many years ago, he said to ask yourself specific questions, and I came up with this one. I asked myself, what can I do now that will move me closer to one of my goals? You may want to pause this right now at the present moment and ask yourself this specific question. What can I do now that will move me closer to one of my goals? You may want to think about what your goals are in life, both present tense and future tense. So you may want to pause this and examine what your goals are. You may want to write them down and examine them. So feel free to either come back to this moment of this recording or pause it right now. I came across this yesterday for the first time, this quote by Mandy Hill. "Don't waste words on people who deserve your silence. Sometimes the most powerful thing you could say is nothing at all." One of the most powerful quotes I've ever seen in my life was from a book called Think and Grow Rich. And I did not know this, but it's a quote from David J. Schwartz, and it goes like this: "Action cures fear." And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a few seconds. I'm going to read something that I just found on the internet. It's a guide to beating the fears that are holding you back. Fear of something bad happening in the future is one of the things that makes us human. Animals might fear immediate danger that is happening right now. But we as humans fear something that might happen in the future. It says that this fear, some say, is necessary. It stops us from doing something stupid. But the author says they found that most of these fears to be unnecessary, to be baseless, to be holding us back from achieving something. Fearing something worthwhile is the problem. We need to conquer our fears if we're going to be successful. Indecision, doubt, and fear are dangerous according to Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich. He says indecision crystallizes into doubt, and the two blend and become fear. Again, fear is what holds us back to becoming more successful in life. This is something I heard about 20 years ago. You take the letters of fear, F-E-A-R, you have false expectations appearing real. What does that mean? False expectations appearing real. I'm going to go over that in a few seconds. Let's take, for example, you have goals in life, a job, a business, a relationship, and you want it to work out. Let's start off with a job or a business. Okay, so you want your job to work out, but you keep envisioning something going wrong in the future. However, that's an expectation. But if you change the vision and see yourself as succeeding, that's the key. Changing the picture in your mind from failing to succeeding. You need to change the vision in your mind from a negative perception to a positive. You need to see yourself as succeeding in your mind's eye before the interview or meeting or job or whatever goal it is that you have. So what you're doing basically is taking the false expectations and changing them to positive expectations by changing the vision, changing the negative vision into a positive vision. So what you want to do is turn that positive vision into reality. What I do is I make notes in my apartment and I put them in large letters so that I can see them from a distance. Right now I'm looking at a box that I have in my bedroom on the dresser, and I have some things in there. And I wrote in magic marker, things will get better. So from my bed, I can see this. So if my mind is kind of like negative, I change my negative mind into a positive mind. I tell myself things will get better, basically, and this is what we have to do to change the vision. In order to change the vision, you got to change the thought first. I am suggesting that you all do the same thing. Put a sign in your household somewhere where you see it every day that says things will get better. It will help you keep your mind positive, and it will help keep the minds of the people you come into contact positive. So if you see a sign like this, before you go to bed at night, when you wake up in the morning, or if you're resting or taking a nap in the middle of the day, whatever, if that's what you do, I don't know your habits. But if you see this sign every day, don't you think your mind will be positive? This reminds me of a book by T.Harv Eker called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. In it, he says, thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, and actions lead to results. He also says, everything begins with your thoughts, which are produced by your mind. The psychology of winning says you have to see yourself as succeeding in your mind's eye before you actually achieve the desired successful outcome. This is part one of my new success series, so please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up, and please share it with others, and please come back and watch the video again and again. Come back once a week. Come back every day if you like. Come back once a month, but come back and be successful. That's the main thing.